cold, like by the stove, cause we ain't had no heat. Now I'm freezing by choice, I VVS my teeth. That burner froze, let's change the climate, put some shit to sleep. Might shed a tear and spill some blood, that's just the way I grieve.
Alright, so boom. Today we here with why a producer might be the worst job in music. Not gonna lie, it definitely is. Like, producers get hold the most, they get paid last. You low key do like the most work. Like low key do the most work. The shit crazy. Like, but we gonna find out. Shout out to Lil Oyster. Let's get right into this. Y'all hit that follow button. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
From the outside looking in, being a hip-hop producer looks like a fully fledged dream job. Not only do you get to use your innate talent and make stacks of money from your creative exploits, but you also get to rub shoulders with your favorite rappers for a living, often getting platinum plaques with them in the process. But there's another side of that coin, in that despite the fact that they are so vital to the music we all love, they aren't treated in the same way that the MCs who spit over their beats are. Now, there are a select few producers who are universally respected, but it's fair to say that they don't always get their flowers. And all too often, they only acquire them from others in the game, while for the most part, there is an industry-wide plight where producers are seen as dispensable figures who can get ripped off at a moment's notice.
Oh, you know what's a good example? Check for the, what is it, Why I Gotta Be Like That, Farsight, okay? Then listen to Do For Love by Tupac. I basically chopped my record.
And shockingly, it's something that even famous producers inflict on one another in a fight to succeed and stand out in a crowded marketplace.
Hey, this is actually one of my favorite beats that I didn't really do. Brian All Day Miller did this beat, and he was supposed to get co-producer credit on it, and then they didn't give him credit on the album, and they just had my name, and everybody come up to me in the party and say, oh, I love this beat, and I would say, hey, thanks.
It's your boy Luesta, and this is the dark side of being
out
a
of
hip-hop
pocket,
producer.
bro.
When you venture online, it doesn't take too long to stumble into a horror story from an aspiring beatmaker who finds themselves struggling to get what they deserve, or faced being taken for granted by the rappers who are approaching them to work. Hey, I like your style. I need beats. Bet, I charge insert amount for a beat.
Bro, that's the worst thing, bro. Like, a lot of rappers don't understand, bro. If you make music, my nigga, bro, if you're a rapper, and how do you think I'm about to hop on a beat, blow up, and not pay the nigga who made the beat, but you want to get paid? I'm waiting. It don't make fucking sense. It don't make sense. Like, just pay the nigga. You can literally. That's the thing, niggas don't even peep, bro. If you really like, you really believe in yourself, you could be like, all right, I'm gonna drop. Hit a producer up, yo, bro. I got $60. Fuck with a boy. You know how many niggas gonna accept that $60? A lot of niggas gonna accept that $60. Like, a lot of them, unless that beat over there in the millions or some shit, or they got A1 lit niggas trying to buy it. But overall, drop the $60. Hey, bro, I got $60. What can you do for me? Let me lease this beat. You ain't gotta worry about the bullshit. You ain't gotta worry about nigga taking it down, building bad relationships with producers and shit. Like, it don't make sense to me.
Let me know what you want to get. Oh, word? I'll hit you up Friday when you get paid. 19 out of 20 times goes ghost. Had a couple of friends who only came over when they needed their YouTube beats recorded over. Did a whole album for them. And when I wasn't recording for them, they were getting on my ass like, yo bro, gotta get this shit out, man, the fans. Fuck you. Actually come hang out and chill. I'm not your slave. Now, these are stories from producers on the come up, trying their best to turn a profit out of a passion. So you'd figure that once you got a little name recognition, these producers were suddenly protected from all of these issues of being mistreated, lied to, or straight up stolen from. But the truth is that it happens all the time and in a whole variety of forms, some of which are only coming to the forefront in the technologically advanced era we're in today. But one issue that's been happening for years is disputes over credits on a song. These can rage on for years, with producers often having to fight a major label machine for the money or mention that they rightfully deserved. There are a whole host of ways that producers can be screwed out of these, but perhaps the most egregious of all comes when someone hears what you're doing and simply steals it outright. This is something even legendary producers like Pete Rock know the sting of all too well, with the cyclical behavior of one of hip-hop's most infamous execs robbing him of his rightful place of an all-time classic. As Pete recalls, he had sampled the legendary track Juicy Fruit from Mtume and let Puff hear his creation as it was playing in his home studio during a visit. And after hearing it, Diddy teamed up with Poke of Bad Boy's Trackmasters and remade the same beat. Afterwards, Pete discovered he had been robbed, but was given a remix on the single.
And I was making the beat because I knew they were coming, but I didn't know that he would like that beat. At that time, I was a little wet behind the ears, so I didn't get the proper credit I should have got. But at the same time, you know, I did do the remix, and you know, I did tell people that the original belongs to me too. You know,
I never hear that in my life.
Right. Yeah, rest in peace, B.I.G.
Despite how flagrant this was, Pete remained level-headed about it and simply maintained that he wasn't going to be stuck with the consultation prize. I did the original version, but didn't get credit for it, he
that shit threw me off. I'm a little wet behind my ears. The fuck?
explained. He heard that shit and next thing you know, it comes out. They had me do a remix, but I tell people, and I will fight to the end, that I did the original version of that. I'm not mad at anybody, he told Wax Poetics. I just want the correct credit. Y'all just can't be robbing me. If you don't do the work, I'ma expose you. But in a testament to how hard it is for producers to get what they're due, even a legend like Pete Rock still hasn't been able to get this situation rectified to this very day. As when it comes to dealing with a label or an artist's lawyers, it's often your words against theirs. Even to this day, the same thing can occur, with producers
Diddy
not
was
receiving
always
the correct
up to no
royalty
good,
figure
man.
out of major hits. A prime example of this is Jimmy
Damn.
Duval, a beatmaker who sued a late rapper's estate for over $1 million, proclaiming that it is important to note that as the producer behind Look at Me, an inarguable platinum hit, I was removed from all credits, which in turn meant that all rights and royalties owed to me were immediately averted. It goes without saying that everyone deserves credit for their contributing works. My friend is no longer with us, and I'm only asking to remain a part of the legacy that we created together with Look at Me. In the process, he wound up getting countersued by X's mom, leaving him in limbo, and trying to get what he felt he deserved.
That pretty much without the consent of any of the creatives involved, they signed the publishing off to the sample at some point, his legal team, because it ain't between me and X. Like, people like me and X, I don't deal with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's obviously not gonna be me that figures out that this big problem exists in the publishing, but it's really the copyright for the record. Okay. So if you do something like you create that record, you own what you've done on the record. Right? And if you're not gonna own it, you at least are gonna go into some kind of discussion or legal go through where it's gonna be decided you don't. But it can't just be given away by some random lawyer behind somebody else.
When you go to make a publishing deal, correct? If they don't know that, if you say, yeah, I made this track, but you don't have evidence of you making that track, they can't really.
Oh, sorry, you can have evidence, like, I'm already going through something like that. You know what I'm saying? Where, like, there's other people involved that are coming to me like,
download them FLPs.
Like, and I'm like, yo, like, I have the proof I made the track. You know, I even have stuff that says I own the track. But there's this, you know, at some point in time, unbeknownst to me, this transaction occurred. So now that's what we're dealing with.
Sometimes the apparent erosion of a producer's role in an artist's development can go even deeper. According to Jeremy Rose, he alleged that he had a role in molding the sound that would later become known as The Weeknd's signature aesthetic, only to have his contributions wiped. Apparently, Jeremy asked him if he wanted to work on something. I had this idea for a dark R&B project. Abel seemed to suit the project. When I met him, I heard some of the stuff that he was doing. It was called The Noise. They were a straight kind of R&B, just really light. And I was just like, oh, f that shit. No, man, let's talk about fucking and getting too high and trying to f bitches and it not working out. Let's get really grimy about it. Reportedly, Tesfaye wouldn't respect his opinion or pay him, and things went sour when he asked Tesfaye for credit on the songs. I've never heard from him since I told him I don't want to work with him.
I was confused as shit.
He said, no legal action has been taken, but Rose says we'll work on it, getting money. Eventually, his credits were restored, ensuring he got his props for the work on tracks like The Morning, Loft Music, What You Need, and others. But it's clear that he wasn't going to get it without a fight, and this is at the heart of the problem. Because unfortunately, this ability to discard a producer's requests is endemic within the culture, with their contributions overlooked or uncompensated in a way that rappers don't have to tolerate.
If you send me a beat and I rap on the beat and then you come trying to text me some crazy ass number, I'm not paying for your beat, bro. F your beat. Cause I make my own beats. What the f I need your beat for? For all you producers that sending beats to my email, Put the number, put your price in the email.
This would be the reason why, like, I have not sung a fucking Soulja Boy song since Rick and Morty, my nigga. And the only words I know is Rick and Morty. Before that, nigga, I was in first grade. Like, come on, bro. Like, I can understand if a nigga tax you a wild number, you're like, bro, I'm not paying that number. But, nigga, what the fuck? Nigga ain't just giving this shit out for free, my nigga. What the fuck you thought this shit was?
Yeah. Don't come after the song come out talking about you want this money, you want that, because you ain't gonna get it, nigga.
Despite the fact that he literally makes beats, attitudes like Soulja Boy's are very prevalent, as unfortunately, it's one side of the music industry where it seems like payment is treated like more of an option rather than a right. And for Soulja, he found out the hard way that producers aren't willing to tolerate that, with various projects being pulled for copyright claims from creatives who said they weren't paid for their work. Due to this pronounced mentality in the industry, people such as Bobby Shmurda have always tried to push projects out without getting the proper permissions from those who worked on it.
I done made over $500,000 for the year. It can't be that bad outside, my nigga. I'm trying to drop my project, but these is asking me clearances, and these fucking producers is asking for some crazy shit. I don't know what rumors is going around. They think like, oh, Bobby just dropping bags, this, that, whatever. I'm not giving niggas no fucking $10,000, $8,000 for no fucking producer song.
But while these situations are in which producers manage to halt the music from coming out ahead of time, there are plenty of occasions where they are strong-armed.
No, like with Bobby Shmurda, I can understand Bobby Shmurda. 8 bands. Some people do be unreasonable. Some niggas think that just because a nigga got millions on YouTube, that means that the nigga got millions in his pocket. Like, I can understand that. But at least 5, bro. You can at least throw the 5. You Bobby Shmurda, you gonna make more than 5. You gonna make more than 8. But you can throw the 5. I mean, especially if I was sending this shit to you. Yeah, you can throw the 5.
By big artists who use their output in ways that don't consent to or haven't been paid for. A little while ago, Ye took to his constantly controversial X account to complain about a music industry professional trying to get what he felt his clients were owed. Free Maiden tried to charge me $3 million for beats from people I showed how to make beats to, Ye wrote, adding in a shrug emoji directed at managers. And while he painted this as some form of extortion, the producers in question, Bugs and Brian, revealed that they hadn't gotten a thing for what they did. He owed us money for almost 3 years now, has refused to pay, yet keeps stealing our work, said the text, which also claimed that lawyers are getting this taken down within the hour. This isn't the only issue producers have faced when it came to Kanye's long-aborted record. ATL Jacob was also left scratching his head over the whole STEM player rollout, especially when it came to how royalties were supposed to work.
Everybody was confused, like how we get paid.
Were you confused?
Yeah, I'm still confused. Like, if he banned for STEM player now, how we get paid?
Okay, I mean, were you disappointed that it didn't come out publicly? Because I'll be honest, I haven't heard that album. That's the one Kanye album I have never heard because I'm not going to buy a $200
literally
piece of electronics that I'm going to toss out after listening to it.
It's crazy because the STEM player, like, he'll upload the songs on the STEM player and they wasn't even complete songs. Like, none of the songs were done. He was just uploading demos.
Really?
Yeah.
Niggas was buying that?
might question why people don't come out and voice their displeasure.
Bro, you was buying that, bro. Cash at me some
like
cheese, my nigga.
West,
Come on.
There's
and
always
you just
the
giving it
problem that
out.
you're burning
Shit,
bridges
this the
with
beast.
big artists in the game, and thus it might lead to you getting blackballed. On other occasions, it can lead to beef, such as when Drake tried to force his way onto Metro's Heroes and Villains record.
Really, it was a song I had did with Travis and Thug originally for my album. I was just in the studio with Drake one time because we were going to do some stuff for my album and he just wanted to hear some songs from my album. Then he heard that one and really wanted to get on it. But like, I was letting him know that he was really just done for real and I was really just set on how it was. I was like, bro, I ain't even try to sell you no dream. Like, it's really like just locked in. I'm locked in where it was. But he hit me and was just like, man, let me see if it's just anything he could add to it. And he was like, if you don't like it, then whatever. So he did some stuff, a couple parts was cool, but like I just felt like just even with like Slime Verse and Trav Verse and the outro, it was just already like it just really wasn't no room. It was just wasn't no
already
room.
too much shit.
It just wasn't no room.
Why can't nigga just make another fucking song?
I just ended up using the original and I guess the other one just leaked or something.
Over time, this led to ill feeling, including lines like, Metro, shut your hoe ass up and make some drums, and the infamous BBL
Shut your
Drizzy
bitch
challenge.
ass,
For
some
others,
drums, nigga.
beat theft can lead to their creation being enlisted in a way that they never intended to. This is exactly what occurred to esteemed producer Pierre Bourne, who had to endure a beat that he'd originally made for Trippie Redd falling into the hands of 6ix9ine without his
Shit, I
consent.
stole that
The
shit.
end
That's
result
what I
was
do.
Gullah, a platinum-selling song that featured his work that he wanted nothing to do with.
I never wanted to have anything to do with that song just because of how they went about releasing it. It was very disrespectful. Very like, fuck you, basically. I didn't want the money, but everyone was shocked because I was like, no. And they didn't
Damn.
understand. Like, I didn't give him that shit. This shit is weird. I called Metro. I was like, bro, this ever happened to you? And he was like, hell nah. So I really was like, oh, shit, say less. It's not normal. It was just weird because I was in Australia with Drake. Like, my life was just going up the way I wanted it to. When they started the whole process, they just was like, on some fuck that shit. Before that song was released on Apple Music, we went through so much back and forth of no's.
So what that nigga
many
made?
no's to where it was a miscommunication. That a no turned into a yes. So I didn't say, I never said yes. Everybody was so thirsty over the play.
On other occasions, the problem lies in a rapper not necessarily stealing your work directly in the vein of a 6ix9ine and Pierre situation, but going out of their way to try and replicate the feel without your permission. This brings us to a situation such as what occurred between repeat offender Diddy and
all the
Hitman.
pictures of Diddy
As the
just
acclaimed
look
producer recalled to the
so
Joe Budden
Diddy
podcast,
now. Like, this shit
Diddy
crazy.
screwed him out of cash by bringing him aboard
Like, look
to
at
replicate
him.
his sound before cutting him out
He
of
the
the
only
equation.
one.
Sent him a 10 clip. It's crazy shit. I think that one was in it, and he was like, he hit me back like, I want that Berg shit.
Look at him.
I'm trying to be me. Like, it sound like,
Like, every picture of this nigga just look
send me
like
some different shit. Da, 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 da. So I
Like,
didn't
run.
send him nothing, right? I was like, fuck it. Next thing I know, they deciphered my records and reached out to everybody that I collaborated with and dissected me from the situation. So he's calling Cardiac to his house like, you need to be one of the hitmen and this, that, and third. Next thing I look up, Eric Bellinger is in the Bahamas with motherfucking Puff and they singing songs together. I'm like, when the I'm like, Eric Bellinger done lived in the fucking LA his whole life. And I was like, damn, this is really diabolical. Like, so I wasn't fucking with him.
Given situations like this,
I know
there's
that
every
is.
reason to assume that artists themselves are the problem. However, this isn't always the case. In some cases, the shady behavior happens behind the scenes without the artist even knowing, which makes it all the more infuriating once they finally find out. This situation was highlighted by Tony Yayo during one of his many recent media appearances. When reflecting on the creation of the legendary 50 Cent track Wanksta, he recalled how the original beat was made by a man named Jay Praise, with 50's then manager Shaw Money XL taking credit without properly compensating him.
If Shaw Money could be mad, I still love him, but Shaw Money didn't make Wanksta. Another producer made Wanksta.
That Robert for a beat.
Yeah, look, the that made Wanksta, I don't even remember him. That's how bad he got jerked. And I remember being in the car with 50 and Shaw Money was there and the producers calling like, yo, Shaw Money saying this is beat. So 50 looking at him like he didn't even sign the contract. 50 might have had a little piano produced by Shaw Money. I'm like, damn, that's up, bro. It's just being truthful. I'm not trying to diss him, but I just seen, yo, this is how business go. You could produce something, I add a little string, I made it.
Other times,
See,
the way that
look,
music
bro.
is categorized when it is unveiled
Fuck
leads
that
to
shit.
the producers getting duped. Because as it turns out, there are different rates when dealing with certain mainstream label-backed artists, depending if it's on an album or a different format of release. And this is something that the acclaimed E. Dan found out the hard way when working with Wiz Khalifa.
The Khalifa album, I don't know if they called it a street album. They came up with some really clever name that essentially meant everyone involved.
Bro, I know how to be talking about them panda eyes.
You're gonna get paid, half what you normally do. It's a thing.
That shit low-key crazy.
I've seen it happen really more often.
Man, that nigga just
in
got
last
beat
few
the fuck
years.
up.
Anything to save a buck for these labels.
Clearly, there are a whole host of ways in which labels or other professionals in the industry can sneakily withhold money from producers. But there are times when a producer can challenge what's gone on and have positive resolutions. A recent example of this came in the form of a dispute between Mexican OT's team and Kyle Beats over his platinum-selling track Johnny Dang. According to Kyle, the track had been out using his friend Derez's loop for 11 months prior to him even realizing. Yet once he realized how big the track was, it led to a campaign to get his friend credited for it.
So apparently there's a song by the Mexican OT that uses one of my loops from the Nightmare drum kit, I think. One of my free drum kits. You know what? I don't even recognize the loop.
Nigga, that's Ski?
Oh my god, dude. That's the fucking melody, dude.
That was Ski Mask.
You know what, dude? I didn't even make these melodies, dude. Derez, my boy Derez, dude, made these. Why didn't anyone hit me up? Who produced this, dude? Toby Ali, Jonah Abrams, and Johnny Snipes. But where's Derez?
After a little back and forth that would restore your faith in the music industry, they got what they were looking for.
The loop for Johnny. I say, hey, the loop for Johnny Dang was from a pack of mine. Nobody cleared it with me before it went out. Here's my number. I don't know, dude. I know in the past, I've seen people that just get screwed. So I just want to approach this in a way where it's not like I'm coming for their necks. It's like, hey, this is our loop. Nobody cleared it with us. Nobody got paid. Nobody got credited. The song just went platinum and we got nothing, bro.
Yeah, I'm familiar with you, bro. I didn't even know that was a loop that the guy used. I was wondering how he even got, because the guy that did that beat, this is like his first placement ever. So first placement ever, and it goes platinum. So he didn't have a catalog. So I was wondering, how did he get your stuff anyway? Send that to me. You can actually text it to me as well.
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna text you on the phone call right now.
And while it was clear that money wouldn't change hands, the man ultimately got a plaque.
I feel like this, Kyle. I'm honestly on your side, because
Yo, shout out to Kyle Beach, man.
You know what I'm saying? And I know how that is. And like, it wasn't just with a platinum record. It was with a 5 times platinum. You know what I'm saying? So I lost out on old school. That's one thing about me that I never do that to another producer.
And if you're wondering if Derez got paid or not, well, no. This pack was originally released through a website I had called Pure Sounds, where it was labeled as completely royalty-free.
Due to the fact that the loop was released as part of a free pack, it ensured that there was no need to pay a fee. But it is a situation which highlights how easily someone's intellectual property can be taken in the internet world without anyone even realizing. But how do we police this?
Damn.
And is there any way for producers to protect themselves from the prospect of theft that'll leave them robbed of the acclaim or cash that's rightfully theirs? Well, the big problem with that is that there's no industry standard across the board. Every producer is an independent contractor in a sense, so this makes them seem far more dispensable in the eyes of the labels and artists alike. Because of this open disdain for them, Sonny Digital put forth the concept of a union.
Got a real legit question. Why don't producers get nominated for shit? And we do all the fucking bass work and shit, though. Don't get no award.
Bro, every nigga in 2016 had the same combo. All the light-skinned niggas. This nigga look just like PNB Rock in 2016. They all had the same combo. Curly hair, headband, light-skinned nigga, beard, tattoos. See?
Boys don't get no recognition. All the artists just sweep up everything. You dig what I'm saying? Shit crazy as hell, bro. Y'all need to start respecting the producers a little more. Big and small, in between. It don't matter. They all making all the sounds to this shit, though. You take the beats off them vocals, then y'all know them shit's gonna sound like shit.
Right, nobody gonna listen to that shit.
Just out here making these fire-ass beats and shit, though. If y'all don't show respect or showing love, though, they ain't gonna keep on doing this shit. Y'all put the inspiration there for them. Y'all ain't doing the shit.
But it's clear that the industry has managed to divide and conquer, often preying on the new and inexperienced to get what they want at a lower rate. There's always going to be some kid on SoundCloud or at home making beats for the first time that will bend or fold to certain circumstances, said Hitmaker. Alongside the willingness to scam producers without a second thought, the other problem is that they aren't seen as the same footing as a rapper. Because while an established MC can always try and hit it big, producers are at the mercy of their sound being hot at that time. This is a problem which DJ Mustard has been on the receiving end of before coming through the other side. Recently, Ty Dolla $ign revealed he originally had one of the beats that wind up being among the standout tracks on Kendrick's GNX, until his label shut down the idea of doing a project with a Cali rapper before it could ever happen.
Damn.
Reincarnated. And that squabble up. This one, Hey Now, Say Now, right? This beat was my beat. Oh, what? Me and Mustard were working on an album together. We did a whole album together. This shit was hard. There was a song on the album with that same beat that I did called 5 in the Morning. I didn't drop it. And now I didn't drop the album because at the time the label gonna tell me, you know what? Mustard's not hot right now.
Ty Dolla $ign.
I swear to God.
That's crazy.
Think about their money first and foremost. Yeah, I get how it works.
A year later, his label would have much preferred that he teamed up with Mustard than Ye. And this is indicative of how your buzz is dependent on your connection to others at that time. Because let's face it, Mustard doesn't get a Heinz collab.
Publisher doing 18K. I'm not saying it's amazing. Do I think it's like super bad? No.
This, in a nutshell, is at the heart of the dissonance when it comes to what producers mean to the music industry. Because while they are treated as irrelevant, all the evidence that they're important is right there in front of us. Producers and engineers are crucial to an artist. Doesn't matter how good you rap or sing. Your beat selection sucks, it's over. Still, even a legend like Babyface, who has literally helmed iconic tracks by everyone from Beyonce to TLC, has to face being treated like a second-class citizen compared to mainstream artists.
This new trend that we're seeing in R&B, where we're seeing more of a fusion, we're seeing people blend the genre with pop, blend the genre with hip-hop and rock as well.
Yes, I think it's interesting.
Chapel! Chapel!
You guys want to do that? Go do that.
Bitch. Bitch, who the fuck is it? What the fuck?
How are you doing music interviews and do not know that pop/R&B/rap was fused before by this man? No matter how far you get in the game, there's always the chance that you're going to face some
fucking legend, bro. Who the fuck was that bitch?
The new upstart producer might face.
Said
Not too long ago, DJ Pain One, a man who has worked with Jeezy, Lil Baby, Ludacris, Nipsey Hussle, Polo G, Public Enemy, and Yo Gotti, among others, claims that the transactional nature of the job is the problem.
People love to shame producers because producers are in customer service. Think about it, every other customer job. I love that you brought up customer service. Every other customer service job out there doesn't have to be music producers. Anyone who's selling a product and communicating with potential buyers of that product, they're the most shit on people in any career field. Just part of American culture. On the one hand, producers, we're creatives. On the other hand, if we're selling beats online, then we become our own customer service representatives.
Over time, he's even faced issues like stolen beats, but he claims that it's not enough for him to become discouraged.
This is why I don't upload my beats anymore. Now that's your choice. I just think it's the wrong choice. You're limiting yourself. You're cutting off all of these potential income streams and you're hiding your music from the world. Now, don't use my situation as an excuse to give up on your dreams. Look, I filed DMCAs against the person who stole my beats and within a day, his entire catalog was wiped from the internet. I mean, it took a little time, but I handled it and I'm fine. I love my career. I love making music. Life is good. I've never in a million years gonna let something like this stop me from releasing my music to the world.
Because while it would be easy to get focused on the countless negatives, there are times where the hustle pays off. Just look at someone like Young Kio, a young producer from the Netherlands, who is now responsible for the biggest song of all time after Lil Nas X bought his beat online. The common story was that he sold Old Town Road for $30, implying he missed out on millions. But Young Kio maintained that this was a misconception and cleared up that he was on top of his business.
Can you clear up the misconception? Because I think a lot of producers.
Yeah, the nigga sold the front end for 30, bro. Like,
that's all.
Yeah, everybody be saying like, oh, he doesn't make money off the song and stuff like that. But there's a difference between selling and leasing. I actually leased the beat to him. Even if you sold it exclusively, you still like keep a percentage of your publishing. So even if I sold it, I would still make money. But people just think like I sold the beat and like all the rights or whatever. I mean, that's really not how it works.
And as to how he did it, he simply suggested that producers need to have the foresight to put things in place to ensure that you'll get what you're owed.
Because I was always thinking like, okay, I need to put like an agreement. If somebody buys a beat and it blows up, I'm protected. I was always thinking like, okay, nothing is going to blow up, but just to be sure, it actually happened. So, and I was, because of the contract, I was safe, you know what I mean?
Is there anything specific like you have to put in that contract?
But it was like how many streams you can do with each lease, you know? So if you get the first lease, it's like a million streams and you know, it's all the numbers, what you can do and what you can't.
Despite how glamorous it might seem on paper, being a producer is an uphill battle. And unfortunately, it's only getting more complex in this AI-infused world. And these days, it looks like they're being done dirty by one of their own. Since it became prominent, Timbaland has been a staunch supporter of AI. Within interviews, the Grammy Award-winning producer insisted it was untainted in a way that modern music isn't, effectively making it superior.
I just don't feel like ain't nobody moving me. That's already that we know. The music sound bland, it sound boring, and which you know, we talk about AI and artificial intelligence, but shuck, that's
this nigga and Joe Budden got the same voice.
That you can create something and just be
sound just like Joe Budden.
your true feelings and it comes out beautiful.
Some of his contemporaries have been in favor, claiming that it's good for him to be on the ground floor. I'm happy that Tim is into AI, Swizz Beatz remarked, because all the white people in it, why can't we get in it? I don't care how. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Oh, shit.
So this is Tim's entry point into AI. Whether we like it or not, it's an entry point. But others have had issues with his involvement in Suno, which is an AI beat building platform, as well as Stage Zero, an AI oriented trying to negate.
It's coming off like the motivation behind signing AI artists and doing all this is control. And you're not looking for artists, you're looking for machines that follow orders. You're trying to eliminate the messiness, aka the beauty of humanity, and looking at artists like these inconvenient employees. You're kind of doing this because you want compliance, which isn't collaboration, it's not creativity.
No.
It's control. And so at that point, you're not building art, you're building product. And you're also telling the whole world that the ideal artist is the one who shuts up and obeys.
Meanwhile, Young Guru has had some tough questions.
That was the #1 question I seen. It was like, yo, are you training AI off of our music?
First of all, I can't train. I don't own the company to do the training.
I hate offense like this, bro. I hate him. Bro, like, look at his face, bro. Maybe I'll pause right here, though. Timbaland, bro, is a legend producer, but just fucking old head, bro. Like, he probably nigga. I can't listen to Young Boy. I don't know what the NBA Young Boy talking about. I can't even understand that nigga. What is a little Uzi Vert? Like one of them niggas, bro. I can't let no.
Data. Now, what I do, I am a partner of Suno. Some people don't like Suno, and some people do. I use Suno for a tool. So as I was with them building,
Like, anybody who make beats, you know, like you get a feeling. You get a feeling when you make beats. You make beats is a feeling. You remember the time when you was there. When you hear a beat, you be like, damn, I remember when I made this shit. You do, you don't. But you like, I remember I made this shit. Such. My body just have a bunch of AI adding the same shit. Like,
on this tool, I uploaded all my beats, how I use it as a producer tool, like a sampler. And what I did, I started learning more and more how to become a prompt operator.
And already, there's been issues that suggest their concerns were worthwhile. During one of Timbaland's tutorials on Suno, it became apparent that a producer by the name of K-Fresh was ripped off.
Shout out to this producer here. I've seen him on my timeline many a times. I want you to listen to not only this beat,
like I
this
said,
producer.
that
It became
movie,
apparent
but
that
this
concerns were worthwhile. During one of Timbaland's tutorials on Suno,
Like,
it became
you can't
apparent
get
that
AI
a
to do
producer by
this.
the name of K-Fresh was ripped off.
Shout out to this producer here. I've seen him on my timeline many a times. I want you to listen to not only this beat, but I want you to listen for his producer tag. You'll hear it in a second. Listen to this for a second. You heard that? Pay attention to that. This is a beat that
sound like
says in
the
the title,
Boondocks coming
Timbaland
on.
makes a beat with Suno AI. Listen to this beat for me and you let me know what you hear. Not only are those elements of the sound of the beat that you just heard, in my opinion, but you also hear the man's tag. Oh, what are we doing here? That's that man's fucking
Yeah,
beat
then
with
you
his
get to
beat
the-
tag.
that's the AI
This was the
shit.
main concern that folks had when they saw this announcement. You're not going to use my music, right? There's no chance that my music went into the learning of that.
And after the fact, Timbaland, who has always claimed that he wanted to champion creativity, had to issue an apology. Although it was an instrumental aspect of the music
And that was
we know
this
and love,
year.
there are clearly plenty of pitfalls for those who are behind the boards in hip-hop. So before you open up Ableton, Logic, or even Fruity Loops, make sure you keep your eyes open. Because if you're not careful, you'll get exploited in the blink of an eye. Until next time, my friend. Peace.
Man, making beats is probably one of the funnest things to do. But no lie, no lie, they get treated like hoes, bro. It's one of the reasons why I started this shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's one of the reasons why I stopped, and one of the reasons why I hopped into wanting to just do my own thing. That's what this is. I'm just doing my own thing. But as always, y'all hit that subscribe button, like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 bitch.